I meant to ask, is there anywhere is there like a GitHub repo that I could pull down the
Yeah,
current project?
yeah, I should. I think with the CodeBuddy site, or even with Slack, I need to like pin all the links and stuff. But basically, I think if you go to github.com on daveco/codequarters, I think you can clone that or fork that.
What was the,
I'll,
uh,
I'll link it. Give me a sec. It's funny. Put it in the chat. There you go.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let me just grab this down then real quick.
Yeah. And I'm gonna share my terminal real quick. Uh, okay. Server home port 3000. I have it. What? I'm making sure that I actually have it correct from last week. I actually didn't really look into this at all this week. My week was incredibly busy as well, so I'm kind
Oh, I
of,
see.
yeah. I'm just making sure that what we did last week is still there. Dependent, when you run your Rails server, how long does it
Mhm.
take for it to spin up? It's the development server, I mean.
I guess it takes 2 to 3 seconds. I can just try it straight away.
Yeah, let me. There we go. Yeah, it took me like 30 seconds, I think, or a minute. That was weird. You
Then,
know what? It's probably because it's running off of that VM. That's why.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe resources are less. Yeah.
All right, so I have this running. Yes, and then I think I deleted the people route. That should be in the 404. Yeah. Okay. I have that server running. You know what I didn't do?
Mhm.
You
For
guys?
me,
Go on.
it took only 10 seconds.
Okay, so it does take a little bit of time, I guess.
Mhm.
The server is should be fast. But are you guys familiar using something called like Tmux
Yeah,
or
Tmux.
or Screen? Yeah, you guys
Uh,
are.
yeah, I use it quite a bit, especially when I'm SSHing into other servers like my DigitalOcean
Yeah.
droplets and such.
I actually might follow up with you, Russ, to get more familiar with it, because basically what I did to try to, and this is the part that got over, I think, a lot of people's heads. Again, pushing my, I guess, opinions on people is not maybe not appropriate at this juncture. But I wanted to set up a common development environment using Vagrant and
Hmm.
basic and VirtualBox, so I can SSH in. Everybody's on Ubuntu. It's like as if you're SSHing into a web server in the cloud, like in DigitalOcean. But because of that, like I forgot that okay, if I'm running the development server, I have no way of. So I needed to get a little bit more familiar with Tmux and just have various screens that can swap back and forth, especially if I wanted to work on the command line. So
Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah,
I know just the basics of it. I know how to
swap between.
open and detach from it, and I think I know how to open like split panes and such.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We'll get to there. All right. So, Russ, are you familiar with the application we're trying to build?
Uh, if you could run me up really quickly on the general gist of it.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like a super easy application. I think it's well, super. Okay. I'm getting ahead. Maybe it's not going to be super easy. Who knows? Um, but it's just an event, a website where you can save your important events, like dates, not events, dates, like your birthday, maybe anniversary, maybe like the day your first child was born. I don't know, whatever it might be, important dates to you, and share that with your friends and family.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
Yeah, so I mean, so basically, so I wanted to have spend like maybe 15 minutes talking through how we should structure the data, and then the rest of the time, I think we should just spend on building the models out together and getting getting at least some information flowing. So maybe some forms. Nothing pretty. Probably not going to do any CSS today. Just get stuff on the screen and data started saving into the database.
Yeah,
How's that sound?
that sounds really good. I like that.
Okay, so I guess some of us are a little bit more, but I'm definitely not going to be an expert, and I think, but I shared this other screen because I think I can draw. Yeah, there we go. Because I have like a little tablet that I have a stylus. So I definitely think like we need your typical user kind of. It's not a table because we're using MongoDB, but I mean I think we could look at it the same way. So the question is, do we want to maybe have a user log in? Should there even be a login? I guess so, because we want to track their specific dates, right?
Right.
So we'll have either username or email, some kind of password.
Yeah.
Now, should we just dump everything into this one kind of document or table? Should we also just have like, birthday? Should we have like anniversary, some common dates, or should we actually like build some kind of relationship to kind of a date document? What do you guys think?
Maybe very common ones that everyone has a birth date, for example, but not everyone has an anniversary. So maybe birthday could go in the user table, but if we have a dates table, it might be best to just automatically generate a record for their birthday if they provide it on sign up. And then
Like
if they
kind
want
of
to
keep
add
it separated.
yeah.
Russ, in your experience with using Mongo with like Node stuff, so I talked to a developer friend of mine just like yesterday about how to best structure the data, and he was like, if you're using something like a NoSQL database, essentially the NoSQL way is kind of like, storage is cheap, so just dump everything into like this one document, and just replicate it. Is that a philosophy that you come across when working with Mongo?
I guess it kind of just depends on the application.
Okay. But have you heard that sentiment like expressed before?
I don't think I've particularly heard it expressed anywhere.
Okay.
But there's plenty of spaces on the internet where I haven't looked, and I'm sure it's been iterated somewhere.
Okay. All right. So let's just say that we create a user, and it'll be typical user stuff. And then we create essentially dates that they'll be creating, and it'll be associated with the user. Am I getting that correct?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Why don't we? So what about when we want to share it to other people?
I guess we.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. So you want to design the whole thing at once and then
Well, I
go
think we
about it,
should.
or
I think it's
okay,
like we have an idea of what it could,
sure,
the basic functionality. So I think maybe we should try to anticipate it versus
sure.
because we can. I think we can create those things quite quickly um, in the next 45 minutes. I think.
Okay,
Right.
okay,
So I'm just trying to think through. Um, I mean, it's up to you guys. We can just start creating these two models first, and then we can think about how we can share it. I mean, what do you guys want to do?
I guess we should go ahead and start creating the models.
Okay.
mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. There you go. That's me. All right. All right. All right, so let's see how this will work. And I'm totally experimenting here. Okay, so Depender, I think out of all three of us, you are definitely the most experienced with Rails.
Yes, but I'm still a beginner. I'll
Totally.
contribute as much as I can. Yeah.
We're learning together.
Sure,
Okay, so
sure, sure.
I'm saying, so I'm gonna run this command, right? Rails generate models.
Dave, okay, you can, I guess, straight away do Rails generate model instead of bundle exec. I guess it should work.
Okay, let me try that. I'm not
No need for bundle exec, yeah.
Rails generate, is it models with an S?
Yes.
And let me
Rails
know.
generate model. Rails generate model.
Okay, let me just,
Okay. Rails generate model.
Model, right? Okay, I'm gonna call that user.
Yeah.
The question is there a pre-existing,
Authentication.
because like with Django, like it comes with like a auth, you know, because it has that Django admin portal, so it comes pre-installed with user authentication. Does Rails comes with that, or do you have to create your own user class?
No. Actually, there is a gem called device. You can use that. So it's up to us. We can first create user model, and then and then add device or then add authentication to it. So it's up to us how we want to take this forward. So there is a gem device, so which can handle most of the authentication.
Oh, I see. So examples of oh wait, hold on,
Okay.
You know what? I'm just going to share my screen versus just that. I'm looking at, okay, yeah, so there's all these gems that can help with, and there's your device.
Yeah.
I think we can just, let's just make, let's just do it from scratch, you know?
Yeah.
Don't need any stinking gems. As my old developer would, like my developer buddy would say, like real men don't need gems. Real men don't need,
yeah.
All right, let's just generate user. Is it with a plural? Is that the convention to always create your classes in plural?
No, actually, if you can just give me a second. I think what you have to do is Rails generate model user.
Yeah, singular. Okay.
Singular, and then everything else would be created like it would create users, controller, and all those things. Model would be user. If you can just wait for a second, because it's been quite some time now.
All right, I'm just gonna create a user. Let's see what that creates.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I have to use bundle exec just because of how I set up my gems.
Oh, it's not working?
Yeah, I know why. It's because I set
okay.
up my gems locally, so it's not
Right.
a global one. It's not a global.
I remember.
Maybe I could also just use. So how do you like using Node, Russ?
It's very interesting. I like it because it's simple and it seems like it's not too hard to get running. JavaScript isn't my favorite language, especially with Node, because of you get like callback hell, where you're constantly just going in this constant recursive thing of callbacks. And I keep meaning to learn something like ASP.NET with C# or a Java framework. And I know a bit of Django, but Python also isn't my favorite language. I just very like...
you like static types?
Yeah, statically typed languages.
We should talk to, he'll join us after he finishes this class, but Surat, what's his full name? But he's actually taking this class, the C# class and ASP.NET class, and he created this. I think he created Blackjack. I don't know. He created something that he shared. Look into it. So he might be someone that you might want to connect with.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, previously C# and ASP.NET wasn't really in my target because I'm on OS 10 primarily, but now they've open sourced ASP.NET and it seems to be working on pretty much all platforms nowadays.
Sweet. Okay. All right, so basically, if I created, if I just ran, so I don't know if you see my screen.
Yeah.
Let me make this bigger. Yeah. So I just ran create model user. All it does is, well, it's calling Mongoid, because that's a gem I'm using to connect with MongoDB, and it just creates a models, a user.rb file, which has nothing in it except to class user include Mongoid document. And then it creates these test units. I guess it's for unit testing.
Right.
However, I'm just going through it and checking. Whoops. Where are those tests? Test models. Okay. Their model / user test. Huh. Okay. I guess it's just to make sure that my models are properly created, and then test pictures. How often do you guys, or Russ, how often do you create tests? Because I know it's like best practice, but
I've actually been meaning to get into unit testing.
Yeah, we might do that here, because users.yaml. Huh, this is interesting. What is fixtures? Okay, I don't know what that is. All right.
I wonder if fixtures are like a way to create like an example user per se.
Ooh, I don't know.
So that way your tests are always consistent.
Oh, is that how? Maybe that actually sounds, that's actually very pleasant. I like that actually. Okay. So
Yeah, that's true. It's
that is what it
written.
is. That's what fixtures are. Okay, that's awesome.
Fixtures are a way of organizing test data. They reside in fixtures folder.
Cool.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just gonna bin this stuff. All right. So can I just do? I guess I could just do like username. Username string. Password. And I don't know if I'm doing this correctly, guys. So I'm looking it up as I'm going. I don't know if you're seeing my screen. Yeah, I was telling Depender Russ, like I didn't really prepare for this week because I was so caught up at work. So I was literally planning on like, okay, how do I just make all these things and it didn't really get a chance to figure all of this out. But I was thinking I could probably figure it out. What I needed to go to. Sales. Died. Feel free to jump in and help me not look like an idiot, guys.
Well, this is actually pretty much my first look at Ruby, so I'm...
You're in the same boat?
Yeah, basically.
Yep. All right.
So
At a first glance, Ruby almost looks like a mix of Python and JSON.
Which thing are you looking at? Yeah. No, it is. I mean, all these scripting languages are very similar, especially the modern ones. I'm just trying to. Aha, there we go. Oh, okay, here. Oh, there we go. Okay. That makes more sense. Something that looks like this. You have to define the field, call it email, and type is a string. Valid. String valid. Field. First name. Do that. Type. Field. And how do passwords work? Might be a hash.
so for now we can forget that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's create it and we'll just put it as we'll just do it in plain text. Yeah. Super secure. All right. Okay. Cool. I think I'll save that. All right. Let's just work with users. Okay. So next, we need some controllers for our index. I am going to say right bundle exec or Rails exec generate controller.
Mm-hmm.
And do I call it user or users?
It would be user. Yeah.
You think so?
Users. Yeah.
Users. Okay, let's do that. Oops, Rails.
Yeah.
It'll take forever for that. So Russ, I guess you use Express. You use the Express framework?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll probably get into that maybe next quarter. I'm curious to know how. I guess the benefit of that is it really just the the event loop that JavaScript has, so there's better asynchronous processing or concurrency. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Although, of course, that isn't. It's a I guess a blessing and a curse at the same time because you get callback hell, but at the same
Right.
time your whole application isn't frozen trying to do one thing.
Or just do it in order. But it's still, I mean, I read that it's still running on a single thread. So it's like the difference between like parallelism and concurrency or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know how it works. All I know is that if you can run two tasks at once,
Uh-huh.
in a way, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's neat. Okay, so when I ran the controller, it created controllers, okay, and it also created a view, and then it also created JavaScript. What? Okay, let's see what each of those things looks like. So app, assets, JavaScript.
Should be empty for now.
Aha, it is empty. You're right. I just want to see. I just this is I just me getting familiar with what it's actually doing for me. Yeah. Uh, but does that make sense? Like, do you want like a JavaScript for every model that you make? Or I guess so. Maybe I don't know necessarily.
Actually, a lot of things like Ruby, Rails would create a skeleton, and then it is up to you how you want to use it. There
Right.
are some things that you should do the Rails way, and there are some things which you can avoid. Yeah, you can.
Let's see. Right. I was just wondering because like I guess they're saying that for most um, like it's a convention, like that they're just saying, hey, I'll create this for you because they're thinking that you'll probably use it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
So
curious
it's not necessarily required, it's just there in case you need it.
right, but at the same time, it's just like, well, it's just some random empty JavaScript and CSS that I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's just trying to be as broad as possible. So maybe you'll have a custom thing for that, or maybe you'll have a right. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. User controller. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So then, all right. So let's talk about the controller. So actually, how would this work? So if I go into the so if I go to the index page, right? So maybe I want to, like, if you go to just localhost / or you go to eventimp.com or something like that, whatever the URL, and in your index or in your just /, I want to check if the user is logged in. If they're not logged in, then I need to route them to a login page with a form, and then log them in, and then route them internally, right? So that's not necessarily. So would I just create like an index_controller.rb?
So no. Actually, now user_controller would be controller for this one.
Yeah,
Now
right.
for the entire application, which is EventImp, uh, there is a routes.rb file.
Ah, okay. In the app directory.
Yeah.
No, there's no routes.
Where are you exactly?
I'm in the app directory right now.
No, go in the EventImp directory. That is the directory which got created after you did Rails new, right?
Let me do it this way. I have an app bin bundle config.
Yeah, okay, so now go to config and routes.rb. Yeah.
Ah, okay, it's in config. I see. Okay. So I guess like, would you have to add in the routes, the URLs for your user model?
Yeah, or easy way out is you can do resource colon followed by the controller name. So
Right. Like resources colon product view,
yeah,
and resources colon comments. So what is the what are so let's check this example.
screen
Okay,
is.
so I guess each one of these are just like resources.
So have a look at root welcome hash index. Okay, so you
Yeah.
can set your root here. You can build a controller welcome index, which would be the landing page, index page. Yeah, you can also you can generate that through yeah Rails controller welcome. Okay, so
Okay. Got
yeah,
it. Let's
yeah.
do that. Let's do that actually, because instead of let's actually create that, because that would probably be helpful. Cool. All right. So in our app slash controllers, right? We can do a should we just call it
Yes.
index?
What are
Index
you
controller,
exactly
or should we
doing?
call it welcome?
No,
We're just making
so
flat ending.
so actually do this Rails generate controller welcome index
Mm.
controller.
Welcome and index.
Mm-hmm.
So is that just a convention to just have welcome?
You can do anything.
Right,
Yeah.
and then the index is just it'll just create the, what is that? Well,
A,
why index it
a
after the
view.
controller? Oh, it'll just be a view. That'll take a while.
So now see each model will have an associated controller. Okay. So now you are creating another controller which is
Yeah.
not included in any of the models. So like there is a user, there would be events model and so on. So you're
Yeah.
creating keeping this welcome controller separate, which would be your landing page. You can name it anything. Yeah.
No, that I understand. It's just okay, yeah, and then it'll just go to that, and then I guess you'll define how the URLs will look, like in terms of like the actual URL. You can define how that looks in the routes.rb file.
In what?
In the routes,
Yeah.
the routes.rb file, because I know in Django, you have a URL.py, and then you can define how the URLs look, and it calls the various controllers that you create. Yeah.
Right. Now in your browser, can you open the default application?
You want me to run it?
Yeah. You're
Yes.
not
You know
running
what?
Rails? Or
Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Let me see if I can do this, because I haven't set up schemats. I don't want to go into that right now. Document. Yes. Okay.
Bundle exec.
I know, keep on doing that. All right, let that run, and then, so you're just saying now, well, don't I have to comment out that routes thing?
Yeah, you can do it at runtime. Let's go to the
All
app
right.
now and see how things change, right?
Ah, excellent. Tenderman. Yeah, the server's still running. Or spinning up. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to be available next weekend, so we'll be taking a break. But hopefully that'll give me more time to actually get more familiar with Rails. So the next time around we do this, we'll definitely not be going through like tutorial stuff. But I appreciate it, depending. That's we're all trying to help each other out.
Yeah. And I wish I could contribute more. I'm just not getting time because of my work also. And
yeah, it happens. Okay, so it seems like it's, yep, there we go. Welcome aboard.
okay, great. So see, right now, since we haven't defined anything in routes, if we have to go to our particular application, which was, sorry, a model user, we can do it through /user. Okay, if you go to the web page /users with an S,
Doing it.
it should work. Just give it a try. Though there S. Okay, no route matching. Yeah, still it's okay. So let's start with working on index.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll do routes RD. All right. So then, yeah. Welcome index. Right. So can I just comment that out, or
yes. Yeah.
All right. So just do that. Save that, and then we'll only have to. I just want to look at what it did. At controller. Controller. Okay, it didn't define anything. Can I return like can I make something happen? Can I return like a hello world statement?
Just give it a try, or you can make the changes.
This is the function.
In the view.
Is there like a return? Like, is there, or writing Python will be like HTTP request.
No. Just give it a try. Return and a string. Yeah.
Hello.
But actually, all this thing should be in view. Give it a try.
Oh, it should be in view.
Yeah, actually, it should be in view. Did you save this, right?
Yeah, I did.
No. Remove users, yeah. Because now. Okay. See. So now it is.
Okay, I see.
You have to go to.
Yes. Okay. Let me just delete that.
Yeah.
Now use welcome and index.erb. Oh, okay. Huh.
So
if I were to, oh, okay, I get it. So, all right, I'm gonna just map out what just the relationship real quick. No. Wait. Okay. I'm going back into the, going back into that. I'm just gonna. Click this. Okay, so, all right, let me just, excellent, it stopped working. All right, maybe that will work. I guess this is what they mean whenever people do demos. where whenever you do something live, it always like screws up. I'm experiencing that like now.
Whenever you need it the most, it will always mess up.
So you have the models, right? Am I sharing this properly?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. And that just has like data, okay? So it's like, let's say users, and it has stuff. And then the controller, or okay, I should say this, yeah, the controller is like, it might do stuff. So it might say like, okay, like, actually, oh yeah, right? So let me just see that. And the controller sends stuff to the view. And then what happens is the client on the computer goes to something like users.
Sharing a file which would bring more clarity to this MVC-R, model view controller routes architecture.
Right. No,
you're trying to figure out that, or you're just...
No, I'm just trying to just see the relationship here, right? So just visualize it a little bit. So if I were to say like, this will be like some get ID. So user will get user ID number 12. Somehow, so that basically sends a thing to controller, which handles this or this actually it's a post request, right, or something. Yeah. Oh, it's something. I'm just trying to tie it into like how I do it if I'm making like a Django app, or if this was an API. There's basically this 12 is like a post or something, or no, what is that? It's the
user /12. That would be the user.
That'd be like a get, right? Like if it was like $ID equals 12. Let's just make it easy, right? So that would be get ID number 12. The controller would then interface with the models, get that information. And in your views, you have this like templating language, right? And then it'll get all the information from that ID. So this basically sends over user with ID 12, and then you could do like user dot name, user dot like dates, yada yada, all that kind of stuff, right? Because it's being handled by the controller. Am I understanding this?
It's pretty much
this relationship.
Yeah.
Is there anything that from your understanding that you want to add to that description?
Okay. I've just shared a file.
Yeah, I don't have permission.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
So you're gonna have to.
I would set the permission to. On public web. I guess now you should be able to access.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, right.
So we can start with 1, which is in the center.
Yeah.
Lower center here.
Exactly. Okay. You want to share your screen?
Okay.
I'll present that to everyone. Let me just stop. And Depender, I'll have you. Oh man. Oh, wow.
You're getting my screen, right?
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to present to everyone. Okay. Great.
Okay. Now, let's run through it together. Yep. Okay. So, user enters URL into the browser, which gets sent as a HTTP GET request to the website machine. Okay. So this is like where we are defining now. Routes would come into the picture. Okay. the router receives the request and routes to the correct controller action, sending along the parameter. So for now, we are just going to welcome controller. Okay, and there is only one view defined, which is index. So the only thing where route is forwarding to is that welcome controller, and in welcome controller there is only index. So if you see routes.rb, wait, I'll share my whole screen rather than just this image. Entire screen. Okay. You can see that now, right?
Yep.
Wait. Okay. Okay.
Wait, no,
So,
no. Let it wait. Wait a sec.
Okay. Okay.
You know what?
No.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm at routes.rb. Okay. Now what we are doing is we have removed this comment. Okay. So now we are going to route welcome. Welcome is the controller and index is the view. This is the like a very simple form of routing that we are doing. Okay. Now,
wait, so welcome is a controller,
yeah.
index is a view with the hash. Okay.
Yeah. So now I won't have any simple controller. Okay, names. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Now later on when we add users, so we'll be also doing, we can also do this, resources, products. So, or resources, we would have users. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Ruby, we have to follow the convention. Now it is products. So what we'll be doing is not user, but users with an S.
Yep.
Okay. Now, now this would be redirecting to users controller.
All right.
Okay. If I see my controller here, I've got names controller. This is some other application that, this is actually EventImp. Last time, if you remember, we were just playing around.
Yep, this is what
Creating
was
some of
made
the
last time.
controllers. So we did, yeah, so assume this is like, so we'll have
users
controller, yeah. So this, when we enter this resource users, this would create all the actions that users controller can have, and then we can control. So why don't we try creating this resources users, okay, and see what happens.
Sure.
In your, yeah, can you try doing that?
Yeah, if you want, okay, yeah. So I'm going to do that. I'll stop the presentation. All right, so in my screen, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So in the config ID, what I'll do is I'll just do resources.
If you don't mind, can you just check in this file, because we already created users model. It might have added a route also. Or if you scroll up, when we created users model, you would see what all things were created. So you might see something there.
It just created a user's controller.
Okay, it created view. It created test.
Yeah, it created the view, it created the controller, and it created the test.
But not a route. Okay, okay.
Yeah, it didn't create the route.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I think. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So now try doing slash. I mean, go to web browser.
Right. Okay. Sure. I'll go to the browser. Share my entire screen again. Go to, well, first of all, I changed the landing view HTML file. There you go.
Okay.
That's one thing that I changed. And now if I go to users, it should be what, blank?
Okay, now see, action index could not be found for.
It's because my because here there's nothing in here.
Oh, okay.
So I think I would have to go with a def. Wait, index.
Yeah.
End. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm just. Whoa. Okay. All right. Let's see if that works. Right, and I don't have a template in view.
You will have to create, but some view must have been created. Dave, can you go to users directory and check?
Yeah. Wait, Vim app. You're talking about user views, right?
Yeah, there would be something in
yes.
app views / users or users.
No, there's nothing in there. So what would I need there? Would it be index?
Can you do it directly a directory listing for views?
Yeah. We'll just do that.
Yeah.
So it has layouts, users, and welcome. And then
okay.
if I did,
so
if I did users,
go to user. Yeah.
Nothing's in there.
Nothing. Okay.
Because I don't think I ran the proper generate thing. See, so for welcome, I have an index. So I just have to create an index for users.
Yeah.
I'll just do that.
In fact, you can change this name also. Instead of index, you can have it anything else. Yeah.
Let's do that then. Users, and I'm gonna call it
users. Or user.
Yeah, I'll just call it users. We'll figure it out. We'll do naming another day.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just do a simple, and I can just write HTML here. Do I have to do anything? H1, H1, hiya. User.
You're creating .html.erb, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me just do that.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's long. Okay. Let's just see if. View. Oh, right, because I called it users. Or maybe that was.
Okay.
Y action index could not be found for users controller. I'm just calling index for now. Let's just do that. I'm gonna change my or I should say this.
So normally, if you're working in Django, do you use just Vim or you use a text editor like Sublime or?
No, I normally use something like PyCharm for Django or Sublime. It's just that right now I don't want to constantly be switching because with Hangouts it's very hard to just switch between windows and yeah, it's probably I'm slower this way, but yeah. All right, so let's see if that works. Wait, hold on. Oh, yes, okay. Do you see it now? Oh, yeah, okay, see? All right, so that's weird. I guess you have to have an index first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think, you know what I think it could be?
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me try to work it the other way. So if I change this to users again, oops. I think it's because I was going to the index route. This is just dumb. My command line progress is not that great either. Okay, so if that was the case, I think okay, now I'm thoroughly confused.
No, it's okay. Okay.
Because you have to have an index because that's how you get to, that's how you access users.
It shouldn't be.
Can you demonstrate maybe how you're doing it, where you can customize the?
Oops. Okay.
I'm just going to show your screen. So,
Actually, I would rather start with the new application because this one is pretty messed up. Last time we were just playing around with this thing.
Yeah, well, I started fresh, that's why.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Rails new EventImp,
Sure.
right? That was. So Russell, this would be a quick tutorial for you also. So when you start building a Rails app on your workplace directory, you just do Rails new followed by the name of the application. Okay, and this would create the main structure for a Rails app. Then you go to that directory. Okay, so we named it EventImp, and see some things are already created. I will also open Atom. My screen is visible, right?
Yeah.
It is. It is. Yep.
Okay. So at this point in time, see, it has created a basic structure. Config has, yeah, I mean, these files are created, but if you see apps, there are no controllers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now we need to start with, let's start with the, okay. Let's do it the right way. Okay. So now Rails generate controller welcome index. So what we are doing is we are creating a controller welcome,
yeah,
with a view, one of its view is as index. I'm just opening a terminal and I'll launch the Rails server. It's not open. Okay, because build server was already running. Okay, so at least, okay. Now we'll just quickly okay. So at least this part, Rails server is running. Our application is already up.
Mm-hmm.
See, it is giving some hints also. Use bin Rails generate to create your model and controller. So now we can start building our application. Actually, welcome index is already there. So now let's change the route.rb. Not this one.
Wait, so you already modified the welcome index ERB?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. So we are in views. Okay. Why is this happening? Okay, yeah. So there are two things. Sorry, there are a couple of other windows also. OpenEye was a little confused. Okay.
Wait, quick question, guys. Are we all looking at the Pender screen?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, the Pender screen. And if I want to present to everyone? No, crap, okay. Dang it. All right, that's why. I want you to present to everyone. There we go.
So it's already done, or do I need to?
No, yeah, you are. So it's just, I think the recording might be screwed up there. That sucks, but it's okay. Keep on going.
Okay. So we already have this. Okay. Here. So now we have to define root. I thought I got a little confused between get and root. See, if you saw this thing automatically came because we had generated welcome index.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll save this file. Now I've removed, uncommented this thing.
Yeah.
Now it should point to the default. Okay, here.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, so which is here, we can, yeah, open to, okay, so that it is a little different. Okay. Okay, now let's start with our real application. Okay, first, Rails generate. Actually, the easiest tutorial to follow is this. It will get us going in a minute. Yes, up and running. Okay. Okay, Rails generate controller articles. So we'll create users, right? Okay. Actually, I would suggest, okay, let's create users first. Now we'll create a model users, and we'll have to create a model events also, or model event. Okay, let's start with users. Okay, so let's see what all it has created. Controller, view, test, user helper, and a couple of other things. So, okay, so now what we can do is go back to this one, and we can do resources. But since we don't have anything, we'll have to work with, work creating models also. I don't think this would display anything. Let's see what it has. User controller, nothing, and user view has nothing. Okay, so I have uncommented this.
Yep.
Resources user, so this should have generated all the routes. Okay, so see, rake routes.
Okay, and rake is just it's a what is rake? Can you describe rake?
Uh,
I don't know how to explain it.
it's a Ruby engine.
Yep. It's like Ruby make, right? So it does all the Ruby stuff.
Exactly.
Stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it's a make-like utility for Ruby. So what I'm checking now is.
So after you ran that, what did it do? Oh, okay, so it created all the...
No, it didn't create. It didn't create. It is just listing what all routes do I have.
Oh.
Okay, so it is just listing. See, first we have this welcome index. Okay, and controller action is welcome hash index.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and for users also it has defined couple of routes. Users, user index, create, new. So index we can use for listing all the users, create while creating a user, and in create we can call this new.
Wait, so you're saying that when you ran rake routes, it didn't make those URL patterns?
No.
Is that from the resources thing?
Yeah, so it came from resources users. So this created all the routes.
So can you go to your user RB, user controller RB?
Okay.
Can you? Yeah, so it has nothing in there.
Nothing at all.
So how did it know to have index, create, update, delete, destroy?
Okay, so just following the basic like CRUD principle.
CRUD.
Right.
Exactly. Okay. So it has created all the routes for CRUD operation.
So it's just saying, hey, this is what it could look like. So you can just copy and paste that into.
Yes, exactly. So now again, I'm automating a couple of things. Instead of this, you can add each route on your own.
Yes.
Or you can simply follow this convention.
So if you were to create like an action called create, would you need to put that in the routes file, or would that automatically be there because
we have resources?
Yeah, we have resources, so we don't need to add a route for that. But what we need to do is create a controller. In controller, you need to define these things. Okay, so
you have to you still have to modify controller to have all the functions map to those routes. Got it. Okay. I think I get it a little bit more. So there's some default routes or URLs matching typical CRUD patterns, but if you want to do something a little bit more custom, then you would actually have to adjust. You would have to change the routes file. Right, for that custom command.
Exactly. I think for now, let's keep things simple. Let's keep things moving, and later on, we can do the customization stuff. So now I have defined this index in the controller. So I can go to views. So if you see under views, there is users. So I can create a new file.
App.views, app/views user. Yeah.
So index.html.erb, which is embedded Ruby.
Well, you're CD into it, so
sorry.
You might just want to do touch or
Okay. So here we have now. This is the HTML file. Now here we can have whatever operations we want to do for the users, and actually this is for the user listing, so we'll have to put something in the controller so that it is automated. Now actually the next step should be defining the model so that we have a database from where we can pull. We have a listing where all the users get stored. So let's quickly look at this tutorial. So we have already done this, Rails generate controller, article instead of article, it is users. Okay, I'll just quickly explain. There is an application controller class defined by Rails, okay, and we are defining instead of article class, users controller class.
Right.
Okay.
So is that
It's
saying articles or users controller is instantiating the application controller base class?
It inherits.
Oh, it inherits. Okay.
So application controller is already, it is the parent class, and now we are creating users controller.
Right. So it's, yeah.
Okay. Now, this is a note. There are public, right now it won't make sense, but later on we'll see. There are public, private, protected methods in Ruby, but only public method can be actions for controller.
Right.
Okay. So, see, this is new. Okay. Instead of index, they have defined a new. Okay. And let's go down. First form. Okay. Now, yeah, we can also define new, okay, which can help us in creating a new user. Okay. Okay. Now, see, controller would be user new, but the prefix that we'll put in browser would be new underscore user. Okay. Yep. So we can actually define this one also here. You. Okay. Now.
So far, Russ, this is pretty similar to what you would do in Node, kind of. There's, I mean, obviously parallels and differences, but
yeah,
high level,
basically.
yeah, I mean, this is kind of basic.
That's what it seems like. You have to create your controllers, and then, although with Node, there's not really you don't really have to create controllers per se. But basically, you create the routes, and you tell it to use a method. But you could have like one file called like users, and then that could act as your controller. But Node doesn't really have a concept of controllers, just functions that you pass to the to Express, and that's how it knows when you go to this URL, you want to do this.
Right. They kind of combine the route with some logic.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's yeah. I'm trying to, so each and every one of us are really just trying to understand Ruby in the context of the language that we're familiar with, right? So it's kind of like that's how I'm just seeing the relationship. I'm seeing the differences. I'm just like, okay, that makes sense. Ruby does it this way. For me, Django does it that way. But essentially, the concepts are still there.
Okay, just one second. Is new underscore users.
I think it was users without the S.
User, okay.
User new, user/new, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So action show cannot be found for users controller.
So yeah. So now we have to define how to create a new user. Before that, we need to let's create a model for that. Or let's go ahead a little with this. Okay. Creating new. Okay. Create. Okay. So See, when a form is submitted in the feed Rails. So new is the page which is giving you the form to create a new user, but the create method that is being used to create a new user.
Yep.
Okay.
So you just need to render, right, something. So let's just do that before creating a form. Let's just render something to the page so that we can see that it's doing something. Why don't we do that? If you go to, I guess, app controllers, right, and then you have user controller, so def, new, right, and then just return something. And if you do that, return or render something, render, and then a string of text.
Okay.
Does that work? Would that work? Instead of saying new, I just said test because I wanted to do something outside the scope of.
Okay. Sure.
Outside the scope of, no, it's still not doing that. So action show cannot be found for using controller.
Let's see. I think what. Okay. If you want to go straight to that, we would have to see what has to be done in the view.
Because yeah.
Okay. Show article from. Okay, so your user view is still not working, right? Or
The user.
if users slash users, if you do, is it?
No, if I do slash users, it works. So if I do slash users, because I defined the index and I had an index.html ERB, right? I should really, yeah. So
it is working.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right, so
I can see it on your screen. Because you must have shared only this window rather than the whole screen, entire screen, right?
Oh, right. Hold on. Give me a sec. I'll share my entire screen now.
And then you might want to present it to everyone so that the recording.
Yep. Hold on. Just yeah. Let me do that. Sorry, guys. This is the thing with Google Hangouts. Is it now sharing my entire screen? Great.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what I did. So in my controllers looks like this. It just has def index with nothing and def test with nothing, and I tried to render some sort of string. Because my assumption is that maybe the render, I don't know what that is in Ruby, but function method would return, would already would just essentially make that string an HTTP thing. So it'll just render that, but obviously that didn't work. My route
it has to be called through views, so only then it would work.
Right. It's not parsing. Because I think with Django, if you did something like render, it would convert that into an HTTP thing and just kind of render out the text. Obviously, you do want to make a template or you want to make a view for that, but otherwise. And then what I did, what I thought would work, is say, hey, okay, render resources users. I just do that, and then.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, then I made an index, and then this is Hiya, this is the user index. So if I did that, it'll just render the view index. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So nothing, it's not rendering anything. Actually, in this one, in Rails, there are a couple of actions that you can do in controller. So one is render, which will like show like new is a view, right? If you remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So if there is some error in creating, it would again render new. It would again take you back to the new where you can create a new user.
Yes. I think I know what you
Okay.
mean.
Yeah. Then the other way is render, redirect to article. So if the user is created, you can redirect it to user profile.
What is the at ampersand, or not ampersand, the at symbol article?
Uh, Article, this is just a variable.
Oh, variable, instance variable call.
Instance variable, yeah. So in Ruby, all the variables which start with at, they are instance variable.
Okay.
So it will take you back to, let's say, if it was successful in creating this user, it will take you to, so redirect to this user.
Otherwise, it'll render
Yeah.
new, and
So
new is just literally a. So I wonder. Okay.
new is just a view. Yeah.
Maybe it's just because I'm breaking what it's supposed to be doing. I guess like user equals user dot. I don't know. What? So if I just wanted to show like I don't want to do any of these like querying the database, right? I just want to basically say, if I go to /users, I see some HTML. If I want to go to /test, I want to see some HTML. How do I do that? Because it's still giving me this action show does not exist error.
Okay, let's see. Just try something.
Right. So basically, I'm saying I'm defining a.
Okay, there is no route defined for test. Okay.
No, but I did.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll show you what I did in my routes.
Okay. Okay. I didn't see that.
So, yeah, so I
Let's
just
just do
basically
rake routes.
said, okay, let me just do rake routes then. Okay. Wait.
Rake. Yeah.
Can I do that? No. Seriously? Okay, done that. I did this. Right. See, this works. Get welcome index. It's
Yeah,
basically get request. It returns the index. That makes sense to me. And it says resources, articles. Okay. Rake routes. Let's see all the common patterns. I don't really care for CRUD right now. Okay, there we go. See, user test.
So, yeah, so you are trying to access it through users/users underscore test.
Wait, really? That's how it works? Oh.
Yeah, so if you see the prefixes.
Nope. Oh wait, unless it's users test /users test. Is that what it's saying?
No.
Nope. Okay.
No.
So that's weird. So users/users test. That's me. Action show cannot be found.
Okay.
Right? And that's what you were also getting with your new URL. So what am I doing wrong, guys?
Okay. Okay. Give me.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too.
So you have given get users slash test in routes.
Let me. Yes, I believe so. I said get user slash test, and that goes to or references the resource users, and it's using the test, I guess, method. It could just be that there needs to be a show there needs to be a show method in the controllers. That show and oops. What is this? Render test. Maybe. See if that works. Yep, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's basically, I think there are some default methods that you need to define in your controllers in order to do anything. So for example, there's some things that so there's definitely those things when you run rake routes that predefine certain typical actions or methods that should be in your controller, like create, new, delete, update, all that kind of stuff. Your CRUD styles. And if you want to do anything custom, like test, for example, and you want to do something with test, maybe that's like your /user/user test. You're gonna have to handle it with this show, I think.
Right.
So, which is weird because, and this is something I'll have to look into too, because it's a little weird why it forces you to do that.
Yeah, especially if it seems like the implementation of the method doesn't even really matter.
Right.
So all you did was this show and in that render.
Right, because my guess, and I think it echoes what Russ is saying, is like, well, if I define in my routes that going to user/test should be hitting this method called test, and that method test in my controller is getting the test.html.erb, then why do I need to define a show, right? Is that pretty much what your sentiments are, Russ?
Yeah, because it's like the implementation of show didn't seem to affect really like the output of the page. So why can't it just assume that whatever default it needs to use can just be there, even if you're not defining it yourself?
Right. Yeah. So maybe that's something to kind of explore a little bit, and we'll do kind of a. So I definitely will try to dig in a little bit more. I'll ask some of my more experienced Rails and Ruby friends to see if they can kind of walk me through those things, because I mean it's a pretty common kind of fundamental question, right? So I'll get some more color for our next meeting, and also and also, we'll probably at the start of the next meeting, the next hangout, which won't be next week, it'll be 2 weeks from now, we'll probably revisit this issue, and we'll go through it and continue creating our models and controllers in a much more, I think, smooth fashion. Because I think right now is just kind of, it's an introduction for most of us, and then, we're kind of just trying to connect the dots from this to something that we're more familiar with. Russ's case, it's Node. My case will be Django. And therefore, we'll probably be in a better position to kind of truck along when we revisit this in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, I can try to figure out a lot more, so I'm a little bit more prepared, for the next hangout as well. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Yeah? All right. I mean, I think we're getting there. I think, ultimately we did create the initial user model. We might not have been able to create a new one, but I think that, I think we're moving in the right direction at least and asking the correct questions. So we'll definitely try to revisit this the first 30 minutes of the next hangout.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if everybody, I'll try to do as much digging in and research as I can to kind of get caught up to speed, but it might be nice that everybody else also kind of maybe just, if you find it interesting to dig in a little bit deeper and figure that out as well, maybe.
So I think by next week what I would do is try to create a basic tutorial. I'll try to have this app running. Basic user and basic event, and I'll create a tutorial and share it with you. And probably in the next hangout, which is after 2 weeks, we can run the same thing.
Yeah.
We can experiment around that and have something up and running.
That would be awesome, Depender, if you could do that. Just so we can kind of, but don't kill yourself over it, especially if work is busy. We can also just walk through it in the first 30 minutes of the next hangout,
Sure.
Because, hopefully by that time, instead of, if you don't have the time to create a full tutorial, you'll at least be familiar enough to kind of run through the whole thing in the first 30 minutes, and then we'll just start from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Russ, so what'd you think? You're gonna try to join us in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I've actually set a reminder on my calendar as a repeating event.
Nice.
Although I need to remember to remove the one for next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, barring any weird schedule conflicts, I should be here next time.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get this up and running, and CodeQuarters will continue into the next quarter and the following with interesting new stuff. Starting with this one. Yeah, for important events, which is, I guess, kind of appropriate, right? All right, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Thanks, Russell.